Not many of us were in office when he was president, and I was. I've just always had this admiration for President Bush, and I consider him to be the most honorable person I think I've ever met in politics.
16-term Congressman Lamar Smith was just beginning his career in Congress when he got a bit of a boost he never expected.
It was unusual. Here I was in the minority. Republicans were in the minority.
The president's chief of staff gave the congressman a call, asking him if he'd sponsor ethics legislation that was a priority for the administration.
It actually became law, but I was always flattered that he asked me to be the originator of that ethics legislation.
One of the congressman's favorite memories when the former president invited him to ride on Air Force One for the signing of the North American Free Trade Agreement.
I was expecting to be with the president and Barbara Bush for 5 minutes. I ended up staying with them, talking about Texas politics, talking about the North American Free Trade Agreement, talking about mutual friends for the 2.5-hour flight all the way down to San Antonio. We just had this wonderful conversation.
The congressman, who will be retiring at the end of this year, says the former president will forever be remembered for his basic sense of decency and his ability to reach across the aisle.
One of the lessons that I think we can learn from George Bush is that compromise is not always a bad word, and that you do need to forge bipartisan relationships in order to enact legislation that's good for the country.
In Washington, Samantha-Jo, Spectrum News.